Hey, what it do, Sports World, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for y'all, man. I want to talk about the last 2 days of the NBA playoffs. I know I missed last night. I was in my feelings a little bit. Lakers goes down. LeBron season pretty much comes to an end. And I also want to talk about the 76ers edging the Knicks tonight in overtime to force a game 6. Okay, this season, this right here, this thing's pretty much heating up. But listen, before I get started, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. Hey, make sure y'all go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, also the Facebook page. All right, just go there, like the page, okay? And so I can get a little more likes, okay? That's all. So let's talk about yesterday, man. As you all know, yesterday the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat. I said this right here after game 2. I said that the Miami Heat will not win another game. They will not win another game against the Boston Celtics. And guess what? The Boston Celtics pretty much after a sloppy game, most of the game they was up by 20. They ended up winning by 14. Kristaps Porzingis went out the game, as we are hearing. Kristaps Porzingis will not play in Game 5, but I don't expect that to even stop the Boston Celtics. I expect for them to go back to Boston and end this series. All right, we had the OKC Thunder pretty much putting out the New Orleans Pelicans, beating them 97-89. They swept the series. I will bring the vacuum out tonight for them as well. We're gonna bring the vacuum out for them, the Pelicans. This right here has pretty much been a weird series, man. This right here, honestly, I honestly feel bad for the Pelicans coach because I feel like the Pelicans pretty much quit on this man. It's sad. Ever since Zion went down, it's like this team didn't have the energy. Like I said, they put up 89 points. The OKC Thunder pretty much dominated them in all phases, all pretty much all 4 of these games dominated them. And it's just sad, man. It's sad, especially for the Pelicans head coach. He's a good coach, but I honestly feel like this team quit on him. And then we had the LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, man. It came down to the wire again. It came down to Jamal Murray hitting another game-winning shot. And I'm gonna be honest, the Lakers was up for most of the game. They was up all the way up until the fourth quarter, as they has been all series. I think the biggest lead was 10. They ended up losing the game 108, 106, and they lose the series as Denver will move on to face the Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round. And what's next for the LA Lakers? What's next for LeBron? What will LeBron do? I was a little bit, in my feelings a little bit last night. I said that LeBron should leave AD. Do I feel like that today? A little bit. I just feel like Anthony Davis, he played a hell of a series, but honestly, you have to take more than 11 shots. Let's talk a little bit about this game. The Lakers and Denver Nuggets. The Lakers was up in this, like I said, they was up the entire game until the fourth quarter, and that's when the Denver Nuggets pretty much sealed them. Jamal Murray, 32 points. LeBron still had 30. But the Lakers just could not stop what this team put out. Like Michael Porter Jr. averaged 22, 23 points in the series. Jokic, like he didn't even want to play. Jokic, like he didn't even want to show up. Like he didn't even want to play this game. But when it came down to the fourth quarter, what did Jokic do? He turned into the MVP again, dominating in the fourth quarter. Ended up with the game with another 20-20 game, 25 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists. Even though he had 7 turnovers, but it still didn't matter because he dominated. Like I said, Murray had 32 points, and those was the only 3 players really that was in double figures. That was the only 3 players. You had Reggie Jackson came off the bench with 8. And I'm gonna tell you something. When Reggie Jackson scored those 8 points, I said, listen, those 8 points are gonna be very important. Those 8 points will be very important. But then, like I said, Aaron Gordon only had 7 points. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope had a terrible series. He only had 5 points, 2 for 10 shooting, 1 for 6. And then when you go up there to the Lakers, man, it's just like Anthony Davis, 8 for 11. He had 17, 15. So when you look at him, when you look at Anthony Davis, LeBron James is the best player on the Lakers still. Anthony Davis is clearly the second best. You're going to tell me that Anthony Davis shot 11 shots, which was third. So that means that Rui Hachimura had 6 for 15. He shot 15 shots, 15 points. Had more shots than Anthony Davis. D'Angelo Russell, 6 for 15. He had more shots than Anthony Davis. Austin Reeves, 6 for 11. So basically, he had the same amount of shots as Anthony Davis. You're going to tell me that your second best player on your team only take 11 shots in a game, and I don't even think he took one in the fourth quarter. Maybe one shot in the fourth quarter. It makes no sense. Like it's like every time you watch this dude, it's like you wants to get like, man, this dude right here is on his way to being an MVP. Then he turned back into like it's like he turned back into like I'm not gonna say he turned into Kwame Brown, but he turns into a player that you can't even recognize. Like I just don't understand it. Like it makes no sense the way this dude right here would like one game he'll have 20, 27 and 20. The next game he come out here and he only shoot the ball 11 times and has 17 points in an elimination game. This is an elimination game. I say if AD shoots the ball at least 16 times, the Lakers probably win this game. That's just my opinion. LeBron, he had 30 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 4 steals. And like, dude, this dude's still doing all this right here, man, in year 21. But what's next for the Lakers? Will the Lakers keep LeBron? I'm hearing that he will opt out of his contract and become a free agent. And most likely he's going to sign a 3-year, $160 million contract. I'm hearing that he don't playing with Bronny on the same team is really not big on his list anymore. Because honestly, I really feel like I think LeBron trying to play mind games. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I think, why I feel like that. LeBron is telling the media that he doesn't care about playing with Bronny. Because if teams know that LeBron wants to play with Bronny, they're gonna try their best to draft Bronny and try to pull him to another team to see can they steal LeBron from the Lakers. And that is the reason why I think LeBron came out and said that playing with Bronny is not big on his list anymore. But in reality, that's still big on his list. You're not going to tell me that he doesn't want to play with LeBron. But I don't know what the Lakers are going to do. I think D'Lo is probably gone after this year. Anthony Davis and LeBron, they're more likely to be back. Rui Hachimura, I don't know, man. Rui worked out with LeBron last year, but yeah, you couldn't tell in this season. He didn't live up to the expectation. But maybe it's just the expectation of playing with the LA Lakers, playing with them on the big stage. Same thing with Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves had not, when he has to get better at playing with LeBron. And when you look at the Lakers free throws, they missed 9 free throws. So they missed 9 free throws. Now, just think about it now. The Denver Nuggets shot 8 for 9 from free throw. They shot 9 free throws. The Lakers shot 27. The Lakers shot 18 for 27 from free throws. So you telling me that's 9 points and you lost the game by 2. So if you maybe make 5 of those, you probably gonna win this game. And that's the problem with the Lakers, man. They're so inconsistent. It ain't got nothing to do with Darvin Ham. Y'all can fire Darvin Ham all you want to. Hey, man, shout out to Darvin Ham. Because I'm going to tell you something. Coaching the LA Lakers got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world. Coaching Anthony Davis and LeBron James got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world. And he's done a pretty good job. Questionable, some of the things that you question, but he's done a pretty good job for the most part. And if you fire him, who do you hire? Let's be real. Who do you hire? Who out there that you're going to hire that's going to take over for the LA Lakers and do better than Darvin Ham? Adrian Griffin? Frank Vogel? If the Suns decide to let him go? Do you really want to go back to Frank Vogel? But hey, anyway, but we'll talk a little bit more about the LA Lakers and later on in the week and what I think that the LA Lakers should do, the roster change they should make. But I'm just a podcaster, man, and I don't know what they're gonna do. But I would definitely tell you all what I think they should do. Okay. But hey, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's, man. There was some really good games tonight as well. We had the Orlando Magic against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Man, listen, man, this got to be one of the boringest. This got to be one of the boringest series that I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. The Cleveland Cavaliers won the game 104-103. They're up 3-2 in the series as they go back to Orlando. I wish both of these teams can get eliminated. I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the weakest series I've ever seen in the NBA playoffs. Like it's just not interesting. Like the games are just not interesting at all. But anyway, like I said, they're going back to Orlando for game 6. But then we had the Milwaukee Bucks beating the brakes off the Indiana Pacers as they get ready to head back to Indiana for game 6. And I said this right here before. The Indiana Pacers are playing a very dangerous game right now. They really are. Because if the Milwaukee Bucks goes back and they win a game in Indiana, I honestly feel like the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win this series. If the Milwaukee Bucks can win this series without Giannis and Dame Lillard, then the Indiana Pacers need their butt whooped. They need a butt whooping, honestly. Because and like I said this right here on the last podcast that Bobby Portis was the X factor. I said that Bobby Portis doesn't get ejected from the last game, then the Milwaukee Bucks probably win that game. Well, he didn't get ejected from this game, and he had 29 points, and his 29 points helped them win the game. And that's why I keep saying, like, if Bobby Portis plays great, if he plays smart, then he can be one of those players with Middleton and Brook Lopez. I honestly think they got enough weapons to win this series without Dame and Giannis. And I know that's probably sound crazy to say, but it just makes, I mean, they just do. But they won the game tonight, 115-92, as they get ready to head back to Indiana for game 6. Hopefully, game 6, the Indiana Pacers can win this series on their home floor. And then the nightcap, we had the 76ers edging the New York Knicks 112-106. It was a hell of a game, y'all, in overtime. These two teams, right, these two teams right here are so evenly matched. Even with an injured Joel Embiid, this series right here has been nothing but fireworks. As they get ready to head back to Philly, I honestly think that the Philadelphia 76ers is going to push it to game 7. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're going to lose game 6 on their home floor. I think that Joel Embiid calling out the fans I think the fans going to come out and they're going to make sure that the New York Knicks do not do what they did the last game in New York. Okay. I mean, in Philly, where they pretty much took over the entire stadium. But when you look at this, you had Tobias Harris, and I said it, Tobias Harris, if he has a good game, this team can win. 19 points. Joel Embiid, a slow night, triple-double, but he has a plus 14 plus minus on the court tonight when Joel Embiid, even though he had 9 turnovers, in which I did not like, but 19 points, 10 assists, 16 rebounds, it was just enough. And Kyle Lowry didn't score not a single point. He was 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3. He had 5 fouls. Okay, he pretty much should have stayed at home. Let's just be real. And Tyrese Maxey. If y'all remember, when James Harden was traded, I said, man, the biggest winner from this trade right here, when James Harden was traded, was Tyrese Maxey. And I said the reason why is because now you're gonna see how good this kid can really be. This kid had 46 tonight, 46 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. And I said it, man, like him and Joel Embiid, they are the perfect matchup. They're the perfect match. Like they are perfect. When I look at James Harden and Joel Embiid, I didn't look at them as the perfect match. When these two right here, I look at them as a perfect match. And if you can give them one more player that can just step up like a Tobias Harris and put up 19 points, this team right here can honestly get to the NBA championship. Like, just be real. The East is wide open, just like the West is wide open. I mean, even though the Boston Celtics are clearly the better team, the best team in the East, but they tend to sleepwalk a lot. So, when you look at the Philadelphia, and the same thing with the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, another big game, 40 points, but on 32 shots. See, a lot of people look at Jalen Brunson's points, and they never looks at how much he shoots. Jalen Brunson really shoot a lot. He was 15 for 32 tonight, 40 points. So if you give OG maybe 5 more shots, maybe you win the game, because OG was 7 for 12. He had 17 points. Josh Hart was 7 for 17, 18 points. And then you also had Dimachenko, who had 9 points. He's been struggling. McBride came off the bench with 14 points, 14 big points, but it wasn't enough. And I'm gonna say this right here, and I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. I think that Jalen Brunson is gonna have to. Jalen Brunson is gonna have to give his teammates more opportunities. He's gonna have to rely more on his teammates than him going for 40 and 50 every single night. And the reason why I say that is because he's not going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers by himself. I can't see him going back to Philly and beating this Philadelphia 76er team if he puts up 35 shots. I think he's going to have to spread the ball around a little bit more if they want to win this series. And he's really going to have to spread it around if they want to beat a team like the Boston Celtics. Because I just can't see him scoring 40s and 50s and they're still beating a team like Boston. Because Boston might let him score, but they're going to shut down the players around him. So I honestly feel like he have to give his teammates more opportunities. All right. And like I said before, I predicted this. I said that the Philadelphia 76ers would come to New York and win the game. And I'm saying it again. The Philadelphia 76ers will go back home and they will win the game and push this thing to a game 7. And I think that the Philadelphia 76ers will win this series in 7 games. That's just my opinion. I listen to Joel Embiid. He's one of my favorite players, top 2 favorite players in the league. I'm going to listen to what he's saying. I think that Joel Embiid comes out there in game 6 and he have a monster game. You heard it here first. He will have a monster game in game 6 against the New York Knicks, which is Joel Embiid. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this segment and what y'all think about the Nuggets defeating the Lakers 4-1 and moving on to face against the Minnesota Timberwolves and also the New York Knicks being defeated tonight versus the Philadelphia 76ers in overtime as they force a game 6. And also the Pelicans will be moved. The Pelicans was defeated. They going home. The OKC Thunder will move on to the second round. Okay. You got the Orlando Magic will be a game 6. Milwaukee, Indiana will be a game 6. And what else? So Denver, you already got 2 teams that's already moved on. Well, 3 teams actually. And then you have the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat who will play tomorrow. And I'm pretty much calling it now. I think the Boston Celtics will be moving on to the second round tomorrow. But y'all let me know what y'all think about these matchups. Let me know what y'all think about this segment. Until next time, y'all have a great week. Hey, make sure y'all be safe out there. All right. And also, last thing, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Okay. Peace.